Here he comes. Bob has again entered the video. So hello, it's April, and this is my art lover video for the month. And I thought I would talk about George, aka Mumbles, but this is actually one of my favorite paintings that I have made in these years that I've been painting these guys. And the paintings that tend to be my own personal favorites are ones that seem to have some magical event happen in the painting of them. Some things that just came together with hardly any effort on my part. Some things that just, you know, just worked out perfectly. Everything was in alignment, something like that. So I love this painting. It hangs in my house. Someday it will hang in someone else's house and I will miss it, but in the meantime, here's George. So I'm going to teach you, for those who don't know, how to tell a white rhino from the black rhino. But in terms of Africa, there's white rhino and there's black rhino, and the name has nothing to do with the color. They're both gray. What is most noticeably different about them is their lip. So George is a white rhino. He has a square jaw here. It goes across like this. So the white rhinos are grazers. They're like little lawnmowers moving along the ground. They're just their head down, eating the grass, mowing their way through the world. And the black rhinos actually have a pointed upper lip, and it's a prehensile lip. They can actually grab things with it, and they are browsers. They eat from shrubs and bushes and berries and things like that. I was in Kenya in 1985, and I was lucky enough to spend about 6 days in the Masai Mara, which is in the Serengeti grasslands across Tanzania and Kenya, and we went out driving for hours in the Land Rover with the camp I was staying with, you know, probably 8 or 9 hours a day. We were out starting early in the morning, and then we come back for lunch, then we go out for the afternoon, and then we go out again in the evening. It was August there, and there was one rhino that I saw regularly, pretty much every day, always by I don't know, himself or herself, I don't know. But it would have been a white rhino because it was in the savannah, and the black rhino are, you know, in the forests or on the edge of forests, and places where there are berries and bushes and things that they can eat. So now you know the difference between a black rhino and a white rhino. And don't go that way, Bob. I'm going to put you down now, okay? So George, I met George in Houston at the Houston Zoo, and I actually never really met him. I never got super close to him. There are 3 in Houston, all males, maybe related, I'm not sure. They came from somewhere else in North America, but I think they might have originally come from, perhaps from Kruger National Park in South Africa, where they are actually trying to reverse the depredations on rhinos with the breeding program. But so you can see the photo that I chose to do this painting. And then we've got the drawing where I laid it out, and then we're going to proceed through all the others images behind me. And there's a lot of work that I did with a palette knife on this painting. And the magic for me came from the effectiveness of that palette knife, because it's all, you know, it's all in the wrist. There's so much to be said for practice. Your hand has to know these kinds of things. It has to be able to do it. And I depend a lot in my paintings on serendipity, though I'm a realistic painter, I'm not going there by painting every millimeter the same way it is in the photo. I'm trying to get the gist of it and the feeling of it and the rhythm of it and the smell of it and other kinds of things coming around the edge of it, rather than the literal, you know, square inch by square inch reproduction of an image. So that the palette knife worked so well and gave me so much in this, that the different places that I put the different kinds of texture that I tried, and I tried several different kinds of texture. This pressed in texture up here and on the kneecap, which you can see, but also you can see painted in texture in some of these places, and this is painted in texture, some of it maybe reinforcing underlying, but you know, the dimensionality here is coming more from the paint than something else. So the textures I like, and the third thing I love about this painting, and I love it as much as the palette knife work, is just the colors. There are just colors that just sort of are there, and they work, and they're unexpected, and they're true. So this is George. So I finished George, and I reached out to the zoo, and I said, what is the name of this rhino? And I sent her a picture, and I wasn't really sure that she would actually know which one was which, and she immediately came back and said, oh, that's Mumbles. And then she told me that another one was named George, and someone else was named something else. And I was like, oh no, there was another rhino in that group named George. But I loved the name so much with this painting that the painting remains called George, and then it's AKA Mumbles, so you'll know who he really is. And there, thank you.